is Wednesday. I almost said Thursday. It is Wednesday, which means it's time for us to talk a little bit about Rewind. What opened this day 10 years ago, and this week 20 years ago. Rewind, of course, is brought to you by our friends at AMC Theaters. I like to call this segment our Feeling Old segment because, wow, do we ever feel old when we look at these. So, celebrating their 10th anniversaries this week, the classic, the great, one of the greatest action films of all time, Blood Rain, ladies and gentlemen, Blood Rain. Then you get what I consider to be one of the most underappreciated comedies ever made, Grandma's Boy, and of course the horror, what's kind of become a modern cult classic, Eli Roth's Hostel. Opening 20 years ago. We've got one of the better spoofs probably ever done, Don't Be a Menace to South Central While Drinking Your Juice in the Hood. We've got Biodome, Dunstan Checks In, Lawnmower Man 2, Beyond Cyberspace, Eye for an Eye, and Two If by C. Christian, you look at these movies celebrating 10 and 20-year anniversaries. Which ones stand out to you?
I am furious with Ray right now. Where in the hell is Dunstan Checks In on that?
Ray.
Where is Dunstan Checks In?
Maybe you couldn't even find a poster for it.
I remember seeing that movie. I worked at a movie theater back in the day, and Dunstan Checks In. It was about an orangutan who works in a hotel, so that'll tell you anything. Biodome and Don't Be a Menace. Those are the ones that stand out to me. Both guilty movie pleasures, fun. The one scene in Don't Be a Menace when you were talking earlier about
greatest funny moments
that just make you kind of cry. I remember watching that movie, Don't Be a Menace, and they spoofed the Boys in the Hood scene when the Cuba Gooding Jr. when he starts swinging, and someone or Sean Wood starts swinging, and then out of nowhere, like all these kids start popping up. He starts knocking all the kids backwards, and everybody starts getting knocked over. I just started crying laughing because it was so ridiculous and a great spoof. And Biodome's another one. You know, Pauly Shore did have a few. We use him as a reference every time we want to make fun of somebody, but I'll tell you what, there are a couple movies that he did that continue to be guilty movie pleasures. One is absolutely Biodome, and others Encino Man, which
of course Encino Man.
Eye for an Eye. I actually remember that movie. Lawnmower Man 2. Good Lord. Did that even do a theatrical release?
Yes, it did. I unfortunately saw it.
Oh, man. Was that brutal or
it
what?
Was so unbelievably horrible.
Yeah, and I actually did see Two If by C, and Sandy Bullock should not do a Boston accent.
Hey, look, if you thought Lawnmower Man, the first one, sucked, check out Lawnmower Man 2, because that sucks even more. That's incredible suckage.
I like the first Lawnmower Man.
The one thing I remember is a bunch of kids on a weird roller coaster in cyberspace. I mean, that's the one. I mean, just try to wrap your head around that. It's beyond dumb. The ones that stick out to me, Hostel. You know, what you might say started the whole torture porn. Yeah.
That's the first time
stuff.
I ever. The term may have been around before that. I don't know, but that was the first time I was introduced to the term torture porn. Was that so? Eli almost created a subgenre within horror itself.
Well, it was around, but more in like the lower end horror. Right. This was the first big released film that just had a lot of torture, and it was really hard to watch when that guy got his Achilles heel sliced, and there was like some really horrifying stuff going on in the film. But I actually liked Hostel 2 better. As far as a film goes, I thought it was like really up the ante, so to speak. Grandma's Boy sticks out to me. That was just
I've never
really
seen it. Yeah,
really?
No, you know what?
Oh my God, it's really good.
I want to sit down and watch it with you. I seriously, let's get you and me, Mark, a couple guys watch it. Honestly, because to me, that's the one that stands out to me.
Yeah, it's very
Grandma's Boy. It's one of those ones that I had no interest in. Was in the theater, and I went one day because I honestly think me and my buddies went to go see something else and it was sold out. So he's checked out Grandma's Boy. It's Adam Sandler's crew without Adam Sandler.
Nick Swartzen stars in it. Is that it?
He's in it,
okay.
but I'm trying to remember the lead guy the lead guy in it was fantastic. I can't remember his name. He's never been a lead in anything else ever again. But I'm telling you, man, that movie is so freaking funny. I was so surprised by how funny. If you have not seen Grandma's Boy, trust me, go grab it.
I know I would normally not recommend these like weird, Sandler spin-off films, but this one is incredibly funny. In fact, it's all about video game making, and this kid gets his game stolen by this other like Matrixy the guy's just doing these weird robot sounds when no one's looking.
Dresses like Neo.
Yeah, I mean it's really funny. And what was the other one from the 10th?
The other one
Oh,
from
Blood Rain.
Blood Rain.
How
Yes.
can you forget that Uwe Boll classic? You know?
It's the one that introduced most people to Uwe Boll.
Right,
Yeah.
that's right. I mean, he's actually doing Rampage 3 right now, and he said,
Oh,
"This is
God.
my last film." He's declared that. So
My favorite thing about Blood Rain is Michael Madsen's comments of it was an abomination. I love that he called his own movie an abomination.
and that Ben Kingsley just kind of sleptwalked through it.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember seeing it. I was like, "Why is he in this?" And it's unbelievable. You're like, he's cashing a check, yo. You
Yeah.
could just see the money while he's like
But
pretend
Uwe Boll
acting.
had a history. He somehow gets some decent named actors. Like, what was that one in The Name of the King? He had like
yeah,
Ray
he had a ton of
Liotta,
people.
Jason Statham,
He's-
like Mia Wasikowska, I think,
Yeah.
was in that, if I'm not mistaken.
He single-handedly he is the guy who you could blame the video game destruction of the movies. You look at how many bad video game movies have been
So many.
directed. He directed like 4 or 5 of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.